Number 5, just bringing it all together, but becoming the go-to media person. Anything else to add on that, Kevin?
I think the most important thing with any of it and all of this is consistency. And you need to map it out, and you need to be disciplined, and you need to be continually doing it, because it's like, great idea, I'll do it once, and 12 months goes by. It's just got to be that consistent thing, It's like electricity, it's always there, and then someday someone will want to use it, so they just flick the switch. So you just got to be always available and consistent. With regard to flyers, people don't use them, but every now and then you just trial them. Yeah, cinema advertisement. I've seen cinema advertisement for other sporting things, and I think it's good if people go. Again, you just got to work within your budgetary constraints and where you're located. Maybe in a big city where it's harder to get deep into the media because they've got so many deals with, football and, basketball, other mainstream sports that they promote. You got to work a little bit harder, but, cinema would be good, just answering Greg's question there. But with flyers, they work good, but they work better when you deliver them yourself, and also, leave them at the schools and all that sort of stuff. Occasionally, we've tried it just as a matter of interest in a new location we did recently. I got one of the guys, put his shirt on, and he just did a letterbox drop because he likes to walk 6 kilometres. And I said, well, how would you like to walk 3 kilometres and chuck these in letterboxes? And he did. And lo and behold, we got, I don't know how many letterboxes he dropped off, maybe a couple of hundred. We got 3 paid trials out of that one exercise. And it cost us nothing, just to be, during his exercise regime. So, it's just the little things. A park run, we have here in Australia, may have it every once a week on either Saturday morning, I think it is, they have a park run. So I got all our guys, I said, look, part of you, as you get up in your high grades, you need to do a bit of a fitness regime. So we have running as a criteria for our black belts. And so they need to be able to, be fit. That's what you want, fit and healthy people, in accordance with their age and ability and any injuries they have. So we actually sponsored these shirts, red singlets they run in with our logo on the back and on the website and that. And you see photos, local park run, and you see our guys running along with these shirts on. So it's a visual, and we've had people come from the park run. They said, we've seen your guys at the park run. Thought we might like to try the Muay Thai program. I said, yeah, sure, come on in, away you go. So it's just about being everywhere, consistent.
Excellent. I think just one thing that I'll repeat is the consistency, right? Because I think this is not something that you do. You're not the authority one day of the week. You're the authority 100% of the time. And to do that would really take consistent habit of being in that position and doing these activities that are going to build up over time and bring the results.
I mean, initially, there's a lot of hard work, leg work, but after a period of time, it's just a matter of maintaining the relationship. Just like the other day, I rang the news reporter. I said, just checking in, seeing how everyone, how's everything down at the paper? Things are back into full swing. Yeah. He said, I was going to chase you up on a story. I said, yeah, got a little event that some of our guys went to recently and participated in, and just have a bit of a chat about that, So it's just important to, keep consistent.
Build the relationships and nurture the relationships.
Yeah.
I'll just revert back just to the worksheet here. One thing that I skipped over, the broadcast expander, just a process and a script that you can follow. Kevin, if you'd love to add to this.
Yeah, that's pretty much a bit of a script. So we set up, I'm going to grab some ads off you guys. Anytime, and that's pretty much word for word what I say. Look, anytime you have any questions pertaining to martial arts, reach out. Happy to help. I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And I'll leave it up to them to continue the conversation, but that's fine. You want to be the go-to person the media and the business people go to, because you're the professional martial arts school in town. You can do that in your own town or suburb and reinvent yourself in your current location. The important thing here is, as I said previously, you're not putting anyone else down. All right. Yeah, that's a story that I talked about, the guys going overseas. So it was a non-story and worked really good. Sam's turned into Siam, but that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, so, we just spoke about that, and, big back page spread. Actually, I think it's on my Facebook page, the photo, Kumiai, Port Macquarie. The story, there's a copy of that, and then the newspaper article. So, yeah, you never say, I am the authority. You just let them know you're available. So you want to be the answer to their problem. You want to be the person they turn to. You want to be the person that they think of martial arts, they call you first.
And just to add on the radio advertising part, especially if you're in a saturated market where everybody potentially is knocking on the doors to get the free press, and maybe a person in that position, they have some resistance to that. If you support what they do and purchase ads, I mean, that's really what they're in the business for, right? Because radio channels, that's how they survive. And so if you're playing their game first with the intent to build a relationship, it's just a good way to get through the door, really.
Yeah, the same with the TV and with the newspaper as well. Will you be surprised? TV is very cheap if you buy in conjunction with your other locations that the area may cover. It's a lot cheaper than you think. And people say, oh, no one watches TV anymore. And if that was true, there'd be no TV stations. There's a lot of shows that people watch. And you just got to make sure you pinpoint which ones are going to be your demographic. So, you can, if I do a TV ad program and we share it across the viewing areas, might only cost $30 a week with all our locations. We've done that previously. We're just doing one. I'm doing one with the next town down because this local area covers that. And it's only $400 each for a month, because it's a bunch of ads. Now, do you get many people from TV? Not really, but again, it's about branding. It's more about branding yourself and getting a visual on what you do. So
100%. And so what we've discussed on the partners calls before, sometimes it's not the media you get, but it's also what you do with the media, because now, Lindsay, we were discussing that with your website. Now you can reference as seen on Channel 10 because you were just featured on Channel 10, even if it was an ad, but that's something you can do, especially if you've had the news channel actually visit, that's a whole nother level. You've got that media being featured, and that content is ideal for ads. Hakan, he's not here, but way back, and this was probably must be 6 years ago when we started working together, and they just had Channel 7 visit them, and we took a photo of that ad, and that ad ran from April to, I think it was December, and it just didn't stop. It was the best, one of the best campaigns we've seen. After a while, there was like about 1,500 comments on this ad. It just kept going and going and going. But just because it carried authority, right? It carried authority and trust instantly. And I mean, that was obviously the other elements to it. But there's so much power in using media that you get and then cross-promoting it across the other channels and things that you do.
I think the most important thing, if you're going to be on media, is rehearse, set up a camera, get interviewed by people, because there's nothing worse than you really need to have your key points. And what the media look for, if they want to do it, they just want to hear the story, and you've got to get it out really quickly and concisely and subliminally promote yourself. I always say, these guys would really benefit from having our facility here in this part of town. And, you just always try to, just a little bit of, extra work. You don't have to become a fully fledged presenter or anything, but just rehearse like everything else you do. And if you say, oh, I don't like talking to the media, well, don't. Get someone else who will on your behalf. That's really important. And And we actually do part of our license holders training. We do media training. We actually get them in there and we interview them and play it back, and they're horrified, but it works really well because, they get used to dealing with media, and that's important when it comes to promoting themselves in their local area. And some of them actually horrified by it, but it's important because you are a presenter every time you teach a class. You need good communication skills. So just some little tips that will help you with dealing with those sort of things.
Perfect. In the members area, you can have a look at the video authority. And I think that could be really good practice for this type of thing. Just how we talk about seeding your programs by, mentioning things, mentioning your IP and things that you do that creates curiosity. And if you want to do practice, talking to people on media, face-to-camera video could be really good for that, because you can obviously review it and run it and get some great feedback. And if you want to level it up, do it live, because that puts the pressure on delivering it live the way you should. All right. What's been most valuable for you in this session and why? Make some notes. If you want to make some notes at the top of our page,